aid into the territory, and he sent us this report.
At a desert air base in Jordan, some hope perhaps for the starving people of Gaza. Not just because two aircraft, one Jordanian, the other from the United Arab Emirates, were being loaded with relief supplies, but because the airdrops are a sign that the humanitarian crisis in Gaza is now high on the international agenda. Deaths from starvation have finally forced it there in a way that months of warnings from Palestinians and from the UN could not. The Jordanian aircraft took off for Gaza's airspace. It was a short flight. The loadmasters worked fast to prepare the parachutes for the drop. If they didn't open, a ton of relief supplies on a pallet could kill a family if it landed on a tent, which is the only shelter most Gazans have now.
Right, these are the parachutes which will guide the aid down to Gaza. There are 8 tons on here, baby milk, some food, medical supplies, and there's this aircraft and one other from the UAE. Now, clearly, on its own, this is not going to make a great deal of difference. The only thing that really will make a big difference would be a lot of road convoys. You can't do it with airdrops, but airdrops are symbolic, they're telegenic, they look good on television, and they give the impression that something's being done. And without question, the fact this is being permitted by the Israelis means that they have responded to pressure.
As the Hercules approached Gaza, the countdown started. 3 minutes to go. Then the aircraft was over land, and the 1-minute warning before it delivered around as much cargo as a single lorry can carry. They counted the parachutes and gave a thumbs up. All of them opened. Airdrops are usually considered a last resort, a way of getting limited supplies fast to remote and inaccessible emergencies. But Gaza is not remote, and it has been inaccessible because Israel has ruled that it must be.
So the Jordanians have passed on a message from the Israelis. The Israelis don't want us to film out of the window at the devastation inside Gaza. But I've spent 10 minutes looking at it with my own eyes. And I can tell you that communities in the north of Gaza that I knew well, very vibrant, tens of thousands of people living hard lives, but actually with a remarkable human spirit, are flat. There's nothing left of them. Now, if you've been watching satellite pictures, it won't come as any surprise. But seeing it is really something. Israel will not allow reporters like myself to enter Gaza to report the story. And they don't want us to see it, to film it anyway, from above either.
It took about 3/4 of an hour to get back to the King Abdullah Air Base. The Emirati aircraft followed a few minutes later. For now, by air and road, this is a limited operation. Israel says that unfettered relief supplies heading into Gaza would strengthen Hamas. The fact is that aid has not been reaching the people who need it most, and if that doesn't change, more will die.